Okay, I am live. Hello, everybody. I was actually talking for like 10 minutes or more, 15 minutes, I think, and I didn't even realize I wasn't broadcast. So, um, I'm trying to figure out where the comments are and pretty new at this streaming with the doing the chart analysis. But who am I? Well, I go as Alpha Magnate, and I'm a stock trader. I traded stocks. This one, and I traded some crypto, and I didn't have great luck in the stock market, but in crypto, I turned about 6,000 into about 32,000, and I did that from this point right here, where I bought on the way up. So I didn't get the greatest deals, and I knew that I had to wait until it blew up past basically what I bought in at, which was about 12,000. And when it touched this point and then it kind of pushed back down and it rode under this curve, I should have started paying attention at right around here, which was October of 2020. Because if I would have had some better alerts set up that it pushed past its old high. Then, man, hopefully I would have invested more money. But really, what I probably would have done was sold out right about here, which would have been fine. But as it were, I kind of ignored this process and it pushed up to here. And when this is like doubled my money, because if I would have pulled out here, I would have had about 15 grand. I would have like only 300 times my investment. Only, I say only, but it's not 600 times. So it actually doubled by me holding it here, and then it fell down and I pulled it out here around 57. So I actually did really good on that trade through kind of happenstance. And then I started investing here and it pushed down. I thought it would continue up here and it didn't. And this whacked me like it did everybody. So I was looking up here and really thinking that this was going to be a continuation. Everybody thought that with these pullbacks, they would go to 100K. But really, even with all the institutional money, it was just too soon. We need a lot more retail investment. I think what happened is that there just isn't, within the retail sector, everybody's still in traditional stocks. And really, people just got interested in that with what happened with Wall Street bets and with the advancement of Robinhood. So the Robinhood trading platform for the traditional New York Stock Exchange stocks, they made trading really, really easy from your phone. And it was very groundbreaking and innovative to me. And I really got into it there, and I had been interested in reading charts before, like for years, actually, for like 3 or 4 years, and I never really got the fundamental kind of analysis down. I thought I had to learn all these patterns, and really, you only need to really kind of really know how the candles move and what moves the market, and that's public sentiment, as well as just news articles and what the companies are reporting, what people are saying, and all these things can move the market as well as money. But what moves the money coming in, sometimes it's technology and it's a new advancement, but really, it's a lot of news. And at this point, I mean, what we see is, man, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of institutional money that came into it during this bull run, and like I said, I think what we have here is just the old the old crypto heads that were like traditionally all the people that invested way back here, in like 2017 before, and they were able to take advantage of this, and they made bank, like some serious bank here, hundreds of thousands of dollars, for many people, became 100,000aires, and they were able to hold on to a lot of the position and then kind of exit here, and a lot of them held from here. So we went from what was like they went from like, under $1,000 investment to what was a $6,000 investment. So they 6x their money 6 times, and then they were able to hold on to that. And so they were able to take some bank out here, take out cash, and then they got everybody else kind of holding here, myself included. And this is where I got in. So I bought in here all the way up. And then I was like, man, that's too much for me, and I stopped investing. And when I did, I guess it was enough for other retail investors too. And they pulled their money out, and we were left holding the bag. And when you're left holding the bag, you have the decision to make. You can either like just cash out whatever little money and get out of the game, or, you're holding. And that was the message back then. It was hodl, hodl, hodl. Sounds like hold in you're scrambling up the letters at the beginning, but it's hold on for dear life. And, and it's just a matter of time. And that this underlying tech, there was enough people in the news, in mainstream channels too, news saying that, and I love science and tech. So, saying that this is Internet 3.0 and this is going to revolutionize the way that we interact with the internet. And so with news like that, I just rushed to put in as much money as I could possibly get out of my pockets and still pay my bills. And I figured it was a 5-year investment. And here we went 2018 and we went to 2021. It was 19, 20, 21. I figured it was 3 to 5 years. And the 3-year was optimistic. But man, I was right, and because what happened was I figured it wasn't going to continue to pump. And if it was, I was like, why don't I get into this play before it continues its moonshot? Because this, is after this pump and after the dump, and it was going to come back down. Nobody knows how far, where it's going to stabilize, where it's going to find support. But I figured it would chop. What I call chopping is just sideways movement. It's just through a narrow play, like here. And like we see right here, this is a large area of support and resistance. So if we look at these lines here with the red and the bottom of this is where this is taking place at. So this action here, and where's our line right now? Right in the middle of that, And so the top is way up here at 41.8. It's not, it's $40,000 is the new line of support. And this is just people taking money out. And I think it's the old time investors that doubled here, and also institutional investors that knew that they could move the market. And if they dropped a lot of money in to create these pumps at the right time, especially when there was resistance, it worked. And a lot of people FOMO'd in, and then it caught national media attention, and it was able to pump higher. And this is awesome. But this is an interesting area right here, because I think, are we going to repeat this on this side? And if we do, where did this take place at? So this is right at the beginning of 2021. This is January 2021. And we go February, and then March. So it's a whole month where we have sideways chop. Let's take a look where we are at here. We have similar push down, this candle to this candle. Look at that. Look at the size of that red candle. But instead of reversing, and continuing up, here we push down. So we can call this chop, actually. And this blue, probably, if we're going to look at this chop, we really want to look at, I would say, from this to here. Let's see if I can. Yeah. All right. So we just have some new lines here, and we have a line here, resistance line here. But man, it's like it's thick in here. Real thick in here. All those numbers, all that analysis. because I'm in a 1 week time frame, and, you know, but we can zoom in. Let's go to the daily. All right, so what we see here, I drew a flag on this daily to see what it's going to do. So we have a smaller flag here, and it broke out of that smaller flag down to the downside. If it would have broke up to the upside, this would have been their launch. This would have been up. I see this as a consolidation. And I drew these lines from the top, and then and it lines up perfectly with the bottom. Now what we see is it pinging right on schedule with these tops. I mean, this one didn't quite reach bottom, which I guess is good news. This is, again, a daily candle. So this is a day. This is yesterday. A lot of downward motion. Oh, excuse me. Got late over here. And this is Saturday. Now, they say the market usually slows down on the weekends. This is going to be a big time to watch, see what happens here. If this breaks to the upside, we could certainly see it trade in this channel, which is between the 40 and 50, which would be awesome. It'd be really awesome. And it's possible. It's certainly possible. Or if it breaks to the downside, it's going to trade in that 30 to 40 range. So it's going to continue to chop down here rather than push up and chop here. My analysis is that I think most of the big time institutional investors are in. I think if we have any type of play, it's going to come from some old heads that are trying to move the market, you know, some whales. And this was their shot. It touched here twice. So usually the third tap, right? After the low, 1, 2, if it taps here again, it's going to probably go through. But this is the day. So if it pokes through, what is this? This will be 342971. 345969. So something like in that range. It's probably going to go a lot lower, but it's going to have to complete a candle. It'll have to start here. So I think whatever plays today, Saturday, I think the big move is going to really come on Sunday, and that's cool. So I will be watching the market, and I'm not making any moves now. But I do have, if I click on like a number here, and then, so I don't have anything in here. So all my money right now is tied up in my orders, and I only have a couple set here at the low Bitcoin level. Obviously I don't want to buy it low, but if I would buy it high, where's it going to pump to? You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't think this is going to go nuts until Sunday or Monday, just because it still has more channel to go through. And this would be Sunday. So I anticipate it touching here on Sunday. Okay. And this would be people, if they believe it's going to go short, this is kind of the last opportunity to get out. And it's going to be around 40,000. And I'm just, believe it or not, like I'm out of Bitcoin. The reason I'm not trading Bitcoin is because I might be doing my math wrong, but if it goes to 40 to 80,000, which it would have to do, if it climbs past this, I mean, there's still a lot of rejection points, right? So it could come way up here and get rejected here at the 50% retracement. And that's 48. And I think that's the next point that it's going to find some real resistance. And so I'm not buying in until it's 48. And even then, I'm into these, what they call like micro caps or just crypto, the altcoins. None of the main coins. I would have to move, again, like jump in about five grand here. And man, you're really hoping that it goes up and everybody's going to have the same idea that you do, is when to jump off the ship and when to sell. So if I were to buy back in, it's going to be at this top level. It just is. And man, even that's dangerous. I don't know. I think this is going to chop and move sideways for several more weeks. Because I say, if you look at this right here, this is very telling. 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, fourth week. So this made the move, then it came down, and you go 1, 2, 3. We see a pin right here, indecision in the middle. We haven't seen that yet. I mean, is this forming a pin? If it does, then that'll be interesting. Again, really set up the play for tomorrow. It's a pin. If we're doing the reverse of this, I would still anticipate it's going down. There's just too much momentum here, too much weight, and not enough, I think, interest to get above this point, which is like that 40,000. And if it does, pretty damn sure it's going to get rejected by 50. And if that happens, it'll push down hard and fast for the 20. So my prediction is shorting. I think it's going to fake here, fake pump. And of course, if Bitcoin does that, it's going to move all the other stocks as well. So, you're in stocks that follow the whale, that follow this Bitcoin. And so many of them do. On my spot account, we look, this is all the crypto that I am invested in. So this is how much. This keeps getting lower as some of the prices push down. I bought my targets got hit, and I ended up investing like $700 yesterday, and between yesterday and today, because this was about 5,000. Now it's only 4.3. So I probably ended up buying more Link and more ICP, more Cody, more Dot, more Helium. That's what I had to set up for. So at Dot, I'm at like 338, 415, over $2,000 an internet computer, and this is at its low. I bought this twice this amount. I'm getting ICP is what crushed me, because I made an amateur mistake. It got announced, and it sounds so fucking awesome. It sounds kind of too good to be true. Maybe it is too good to be true, as a future Ethereum killer. But I don't know. I mean, they have a really cool team and some really cool tech, and it sounds freaking awesome. I just don't think this is going to come into play for 5 years. And unfortunately, with my trade history, you can see this is trading at $112. And I bought it at man, look at this. Oh, yeah. I sold a lot of it, too. But yeah, I was buying it at God, what is this? This is not even half. So oh yeah, here we go. I was buying at these prices, but if I go all the way to the end, I bought all this coin, all this token in another exchange, and then I moved it over here so I could better manage it. But yeah, look at this. 257, 270 were my bids. I was buying this at $310. So I'm down 2/3 of my money. It just completely wiped me out. And I'm looking for a good pump on this. But my reality with this is that it's going to follow Bitcoin, but it will it's going to move sideways for 3 years. I predict this is going to this technology is going to take probably at least 2 years, if not 3 years, to become a competitor. And but they're talking about writing directly to the internet. I don't know. I've been sucked into some other tech ideas that were AI driven that just never panned out, and I lost money on them. So this could be that kind of thing where they just overhype it. It's like self-driving vehicles. Like, it's going to be next year. It's going to be, and they just suck everybody's money, into this idea to explore the tech. And as they explore it, I mean, they make amazing innovations, but the reality is and the takeaway is that it's going to be a 10-year plan. It's not going to be. It's going to take 10 years to get that. And it is an inevitability. Yeah, it probably is. But look at this triangle, man. I was buying way up here. And it's way down here. That sucks. So you can imagine, I mean, I still have $2,000 in there. That's like $6,000 in this shit. Man, it's crazy. What the mistake that I made on ICP on this internet computer is that if I go back to a month, you can see when a coin launches, just gets these. The spike was so huge. Excuse me. That's how tall the spike was. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You can't even see what happened after that, but it dropped down into this range, and we go to that. The daily showing. I think that, yeah, the daily and the weekly will definitely. I just have so many drawings over it right now. Well, anyway, yeah, this is one that I'm not selling. I'm just holding it. I'm not taking that loss, $6,000. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with? You take $2,000, take a $4,000 loss, free up $2,000. I mean, you could do that, but and all these people are gonna, if I would have, I guess, if I would have taken a loss up here. If I would have, it's trading at $113. If I would have got out at 300 or, like in the 200s, I guess I could have bought it at 100. Honestly, I didn't know it would go down 200 until it was too late. I'm glad it's holding at about 100 at 113. That's good sideways movement. But again, as Bitcoin drops, this is going to plummet as well, and people will pick this up under a fucking dollar. I mean, not under $1, but under $100. It'll probably drop down to 80 cents, where I was paying $3 for it. So theoretically, somebody could come in here and spend $2,000 and have as much, or actually have more tokens than I did. But it just is what it is. I have to hold this till 300 until it gets past 300. And it's just going to tie up that $2,000 that's going to go down even lower. I just don't see this dropping at this point. And I don't think it had any real big rallies to where I was even close. And money got me about, let's see if I bought it at way up here. Oh my God. I bought it way up here. Oh my God. I mean, and we got slammed. And then I guess I should have got out here and taken the loss, because I could have rebought here or lower. But you don't know these things. Now, this is interesting to see, kind of look at this flag pattern. This is interesting to me. I mean, you could see if we just connect all of these. Let's see if we can get a flag pattern up here. Well, it broke out to the bottom side here. Tip back in. And it's just triangulating out here. Dollar bill, y'all. So yeah, it's trading below. It broke out here again. So this is pretty much fucked. But yeah, you can see this darker triangle, and then it on the second leg it goes straight across to form this triangle. And look at how it tests these, man. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. If it breaks out to the downside and it comes back up in here and goes down low again, I mean, you gotta sell here. I guess that's what you gotta do because it's gonna chop. I mean, at least you could like sell it here and repick it up here, and then you'd have made $25 per token if you'd done that. But listen, stock market's unpredictable as hell. Long plays sometimes it's just you just get stuck in them. That's the way I look at it. Now, what's smart money? What's dumb money gonna do? I don't know. I'm buying stuff as it goes low, and I set it here because I don't think it's gonna go crazy low. Again, just looking at Bitcoin and seeing what the possibilities are. It is possible that it could go crazy low. I mean, it could go back down here. But here's the bottom, and it tested this bottom twice, and that's $4,000. We know it's not going to see 4,000. Here's the real question. Which one of these high tops will it take? It could certainly go to 13, 14, and then here's that 20. So, and it tested 20 twice before it broke through. So I think that, I mean, there's definitely mad resistance. I think it's going to come down here and touch this 20, and it's going to see really, if this is behaving the way it is and it's not FOMO, it's going to come down. Even if it goes up, it's going to come down and touch these 20s again. I think it will. Look at that mark right there, just from here to here. I don't think it's going to see this. I think it's going to bounce off this 20, and then probably if it bounces off of the 20, it could shoot right up and test the 60 in a minute. So it bounces off of 20, everybody's going to buy it in 20. So my orders right now on this is a 24 and then 14, which is I'll have like $200, which is stupid. But the thing is like, if you look at percentage wise, it going 200 from 20,000 to 60,000. That's, you double your money overnight. But the thing is, I think the other smaller coins should follow suit, especially like the larger ones like Cardano. Let's take a look at Cardano and see. I mean, it found its bottom way down here. And then look at this, just right 2021 made the same moves, chopped here. It just did exactly what it's following the moves pretty much exactly as Bitcoin did, just to a smaller scale. And this right here, show me there's a lot of buying pressure to go down. But yet all these are still trending up, so interesting. as far as the stochastics go, we know we can see it is overbought here, leveled out here. But this little blip was enough to do this push. That's interesting. Institutional money right there. And all this little fish just got the benefit, especially if you got out at the top. But now we have the blue line. Crossover for that push. It's back down here. See what happens on Sunday. It's going to be a big day. Big weekend for Bitcoin, big weekend for crypto. That's the end of my broadcast. It is very, very early in the morning here on the East Coast. And if anybody watches this, that's cool. If not, it's it's just something I can watch somewhere down the future, and this will be in the archives on YouTube to see this date in history. Saturday, May 29th, to see what happens to Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to be today. I think it's going to be tomorrow. I think Sunday and Monday are the big days to keep your eyes glued, set alerts to the Bitcoin movement and see if it moves out of that chart. Because if it moves, everything else you got money in is going to follow suit. Maybe not immediately, but within either hours or days, especially if Bitcoin holds. I think right now, if you had money, if the other smaller altcoins that I had my money in were doing well, I would have pulled money out of them and put it into here. And I actually could put in about $3,000 and try to ride this wave if it does shoot up from 20 to 60. I mean, if I put $2,000 in there, it would 246. It would turn into I'd make my money back, and then it would get $4,000, and I think I'd make $6,000 off that $2,000. I think that's very possible to do that within. It's not going to be a couple of days. We'll go to $2,000 to $4,000 over Sunday, Sunday to Monday. I think Monday it's going to shoot up, and there's an opportunity to double your money. But you're going to have to know really when to get out because it's going to dump quick and it's going to dump hard, and it'll dump down between the 20 to 30 range. So if you get stuck in it, you're stuck in it. But you just got to hold on. It'll come back up. It just might take a year or two. I think it wouldn't be more than a year before it pushes back up over 40 and holds over 40. So it's going to be an interesting year for crypto and Bitcoin for sure. There's a lot of institutional money in here now, and there's a lot of interest to see this continue to climb. We get to benefit if you get in the game now and be a little small fish and ride the waves of the whale. All right, so that is it for Alpha Magnate for tonight. Thanks for watching me and future me, and see if my predictions are right. There's going to be movement. It's going to jump. It's going to jump. I think it's going to move about 10,000 points one way or the other by Monday. That's my prediction. Sticking to it. We'll see you on the other side.